But we're live. Hello, this is Mike.
Yes, it is. Come
Awesome. Hey, this is Casey with ADP. How are you doing today?
I'm doing quite well, thank you.
Awesome. Can I have a seat?
Sure. Yes, please go ahead and have a seat.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, I spoke with Roger Mays the other day, and he would definitely referred me to you guys and said that you guys were doing some really good business down here. And
Oh yes, definitely.
awesome. Yep. Well, I spoke with Rebecca, and she's said that you had about 20 minutes. Is that right? That you could devote to this.
Yeah, just about.
Just about 20 minutes? Okay, cool.
Yep.
So what I'm going to do is just kind of set our agenda for today. And what we're basically going to do is I want to talk to you a lot about your company's goals and your company's values and where you want to move from here into the future. Is you've got one branch approximately. Are you looking to grow at all? Or
actually, we're trying to get a second one going.
Second one going?
So, yes.
Okay.
Yes, actually we are. We've got one going, and then we're going to expand into a second dealership pretty soon here.
Okay.
And then from there, we'd like to see where we can go.
Okay.
To keep going.
Yeah, no problem, Mike. And then another thing we'll do is just kind of talk to you a little bit about ADP and what we represent. And then lastly, I just kind of want to show you what we offer as a baseline products and services that we can bring to the table for your business. So how does that sound?
That sounds like a good plan.
Awesome.
Sure.
Well, let's get started. You mentioned you wanted to open up a couple of branches in the near future. Kind of where are your sales coming from? Kind of what your business is primarily focused on?
We're primarily focused around the Texas, Arkansas area. We haven't branched out much beyond that area.
Okay. But you're looking to branch out further?
Yes, we would like to, definitely. We're doing a lot with foreign cars, domestic. We're into the Dallas-Fort Worth metropolitan area too.
Okay.
And we would like to continue to expand out. And we would like to keep our customers that are the really good customers that, you know, they're loyal to us. And we'd like to reach some more that might become more loyal.
Yeah.
Continue
Sounds
to
good.
stay with us.
Gotcha. So, first of all, I just want to talk to you a little bit about ADP, and we represent a lot of small businesses in the area and across the nation, and we actually have a reputation. I kind of view myself as a small business expert, where we kind of take small businesses and help them achieve their dreams by making sure they're focusing on things that basically aren't revenue generating activities. So one of those things is payroll. So tell me a little bit about your payroll. Kind of what's the process? How do we go about it?
What we're actually doing right now is we do have an accountant, and this accountant does help out with our payroll. I'm not quite sure why they're not actually doing the payroll themselves, but we are trying to handle some problems. We've got some mistakes going around in there, and we're not sure what's going on.
So you got some mistakes. What kind of mistakes are you talking about, or would you be referring to?
I'm basically referring to how the salary commissions, how the sometimes
so they're coming out wrong.
Yeah, they're not always what we thought, and then sometimes the hourly rate is not always being calculated the proper way.
Yeah.
So sometimes we're
does the accountant then use? Does the accountant then use a Excel sheet, or is he using a software essentially? Is that?
Let me see.
Because the reason I asked is because I spoke to Rebecca, and she had mentioned that she does some of the payroll, but we also have the accountant. So I'm curious just to see how that dynamic is.
Well, actually, he's the one that is keeping the books and keeping account on our cost and who we're paying and how much. But then she's actually the one that's cutting the checks, and for some reason, the two do not always match.
Okay, so she cuts the checks, but the numbers aren't matching what the
Sometimes we
accountant's
have that
saying.
problem, yes, and
Okay.
we're wondering if maybe we need something that will help both people maybe be on the same page,
Mhm.
maybe looking at the same accounts together.
Yeah,
Something like that might help with this problem.
yeah. So that's a huge issue. Something that we can definitely address with our ADP payroll software that we'll get to in a minute. Another thing I'd like to know a little bit about is, do you guys need access to your payroll records on the go, or has the accountant or Rebecca ever been like, man, I wish we need payroll reports, we need access to them right now, but we can't? Has that ever come up or become an issue? Or
I have not heard them express that need,
Okay.
but that may not be a bad idea to have that either.
Gotcha.
Especially with two separate people working on something, it might be a really good idea for
Mhm.
them to both be looking at the same thing.
Yeah, that would
And
be
to
good.
have it on hand when they need it and not
Mhm.
later, or I'll get back to that, or something
Gotcha.
like that.
So, if I'm hearing you correctly, Mike, what you're telling me is we've got two individuals that do parts and pieces of what really should be one task,
Right.
and that they need to kind of confer with each other, and sometimes Rebecca says one thing and your accountant's saying, well, that's not right, and then you have to
Yes.
review. Okay.
Yes.
So about how much time are we looking at here in terms of this process when these errors come up that it eats?
Well, it's probably like a good 2 or 3 hour process to get everything figured back out.
And that's if we make a mistake, and then
Yeah.
what if just a typical, let's say it runs smoothly? What would that be?
If it runs nice and smooth and they're not running into problems,
Mm-hmm.
it's about an hour and a half. For
Okay.
them to be able to get it all done up and cut checks and everybody is paid and
And it's all manual, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you mentioned that the workers are hourly. We have some salaried. We have some
Yes.
commission and
Yes,
base
we
salary
do.
too. So all
Yes.
three.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we have salary and commission together, and then we also have hourly also.
Gotcha. Sounds good. And what would be, I guess, a critical deciding factor for you to partner with ADP for you right now, looking at the scheme of things and where you're looking to go? What would be a deciding factor for you right now?
Probably for us right now, it would mainly be being able to get this little problem worked out between my accountant and Rebecca, and then
Okay.
also this ADP being something that if we were going to another dealership,
Okay.
we could take it right
Could you
on
bring
with
that with
us.
it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if we could just take it all right on in with our other dealership and
All right.
not, have extra cost or,
Yeah, definitely.
something like that would help us out.
Okay. So, as I'm understanding you correctly, or correct me if I'm wrong, I should say, mobility is an issue in terms of taking it to another dealership.
Yes.
Okay. Mobility, so we want something that's mobile. We want something that fixes errors or limits errors, because according to the APA, American Payroll Association, errors account for 80% of time wasted on payroll process. So it's a really big issue, but we want to look beyond that. We want to give you a product and service that will minimize both the accountant's job and Rebecca's job, because she's probably got other roles, correct, that she's working on.
Yes.
What are some of those roles that she's working on?
She also has to take care of lining up customers for our sales people.
Okay.
She's also helping out with the advertising.
And she does advertising too, so
Yes.
she's doing
she's
payroll
kind of,
and advertising, so a little bit of everything.
Yeah, she's kind of wears a hat of many colors, I guess you could
Gotcha.
say.
So if we could provide something that eliminates that piece on Rebecca's responsibility list, and then helps the accountant really streamline that process, would that be something that would be interesting to you to look at?
Definitely. Because then maybe she could actually put her energy more into our advertising. And,
Yeah, that's exactly
put it
what I
more
was
into
thinking.
customer service. Make sure that when we do run into a problem, she's the one that could step up and help take care of that.
Absolutely, absolutely. So what I've got here on my laptop, and let me just pull it up here, is a mock version of some of the ADP software that we can install on your computers in your dealership and in future dealerships, so that provides that mobility that you're looking for, Mike. And we just pull this up here and pop this up. Okay, so at first, this is kind of like the home page. So how does this strike you in terms of design and simplicity?
Oh, that looks very simple.
Okay.
Definitely.
So this is the beginning of the payroll process. You're going to process your payroll, and this is going to take somewhere between 3 to 5 clicks, depending on if there's any issues that you need to resolve or make adjustments to. So as you can see on your far right, there's the next button. So you can just go ahead and go over there and click it. It's right there.
Okay.
There we go.
Enter.
Yeah.
There we go.
There you go. We've moved on. So then here's a summary of all your employees that you will have entered into the system. And it'll give you your rate, hours, and then it'll come out with some overtime hours and then sick days, personal days, etc. So then go ahead and click next again. And did it do it?
Uh-oh,
I
I'm
see.
going down your
You're going
list.
down the list.
Yeah.
Oh. There we go.
Okay.
All right. So here is some more. Well, actually, I take it back. There's another person there that we're viewing. So let's go to preview payroll. Let me just click that for you. Technology, you gotta love it.
Yeah.
There it is. Okay. So this is generating a preview of what your payroll is going to look like. So what has just happened here is this number here represents the amount of cash flow that's been computed all within that one click to determine what you need to make for payroll for this pay period. That's the date that the checks are going to go out. And what we can do is automate those so it's direct deposit, so Rebecca doesn't have to cut the checks. Or we could have it so that ADP just mails the checks. So how does that sound in terms of just eliminating that from her job description, essentially?
That sounds very interesting.
Okay.
Very interesting, especially the direct deposit.
Yeah, the direct deposit is huge, I find, with a lot of our really good clients.
Oh,
So
yeah.
if I can drag it over here, let me just look at that for a second to figure out where I had to just scroll down. So if you go ahead and click the approve button,
Oh, I'm off here.
you're just a little off. There you go.
There we go.
And right now it is then generating that payroll,
Oh, yeah.
and you've successfully accomplished payroll just like that. So how does that
Wow.
sound in terms of, imagine Rebecca just sitting down, or your accountant just sitting down and doing 3 to 5 clicks because everything else has been automated into the system.
That would be a real time saver. That would make it very, very helpful.
Yeah, and what the employees would do is they would come in, they would either swipe in or they would scan with their finger into ADP's software system, and it would all go into the cloud, and there it would keep track of the hours worked, and if there was anything that was not matching what the workers actually did, you could then go in and edit this on the go, either at your office or at your future dealer's office, the one that you're going to be putting up here in a few years or whenever you get around to it. So it's incredibly mobile.
Yes, definitely.
So do you see the value that this could possibly bring to the table?
Oh, definitely, yes. Oh,
Alrighty.
yes.
Well, the next step is a training phase where me and a couple other of my ADP coworkers will come in and we'll kind of install the software on your system and kind of train you guys on how to use it, so that way you guys will begin to understand the fundamentals and the bricks, nuts and bolts of how the process works. So when would be a good time to kind of sit down and then kind of install this onto your guys' software?
We would probably have to schedule it sometime next month.
Okay.
Because I do know we have a lot of things coming up this month, and we're all kind of committed to what's coming up.
Okay,
But next
so-
month, if we can plan project a month out,
Yeah.
then we can inform our employees and have them, hey, this is what's going to be happening. You're going to start seeing some things change.
Some
we'll
changes.
be doing direct depositing, because I
Okay.
know there's paperwork involved in getting that.
Yeah.
put into effect.
There always is.
And then we can always make an arrangement with Rebecca and my accountant
Okay.
so that they can be in on it too.
Yeah, and we want to include both of them because they're your key decision makers. But I really think you guys will see the value in just the time saving costs alone are going to come out to be huge because you're looking at about 5 hours here
So
of
if
saved
we
labor.
get into that and we start to do that, and if we come up with a glitch, who do we...
I would be the main point of contact, if not me. Well, in addition to me, customer service line. And
okay.
let me just give you my card here, so you can have me as a point of reference.
Okay.
So that way you can be in contact with me the entire process.
Okay, because I know with customer service, I know that they're trained. You know, they're trained, but we always like to know that we can get back to the same person.
Yeah.
And hey, this went wrong.
Yeah.
Or, it's always nice to know that we can get back to one specific person.
Exactly. So when would be a good time next month then to move forward with this?
Probably like the second week in, let's see, this is September, probably very first part of November.
Okay, first
that
part of
would give
November.
us a full month to be able to start figuring out with the employees how to get their paperwork done up.
So for training purposes, should we schedule a session November 1st then?
Yeah, that would probably be a good idea. Because then we can let Rebecca know, we can let the accountant know.
Okay. And do you prefer mornings or afternoons?
It's always better for mornings because then they're nice and fresh.
Yeah, so would like at 8 a.m.
Oh yeah, that would be a good time.
Alright.
Very good time.
Sounds good. So I've got a schedule down for 8 a.m. in the morning.
Okay.
And what I'll do is I'll send a follow-up email to you and then to Rebecca because I spoke with her.
Okay.
Just letting her know that you guys are definitely interested and you agree to move forward with ADP. And
that sounds good. Are there any setup costs for us to be able to start off with this?
Yeah, actually, I'm glad you brought that up because I know price is definitely an issue for many businesses of your size. So, how many employees do you have?
As of right now, let's see, we have almost 20.
20 employees?
Yeah.
Okay.
Almost
so,
to 20.
For the training, there's an implementation cost of $150, and that's a flat fee.
Okay.
So, you have your flat startup cost of $150, and then for every 20 employees, correct?
Yes.
All right, Mike. So check this price out. Pricing per processing payroll period, so 2 weeks or month or however you want to structure it, would be $38.95, and then we can add on an additional HR, basically a human resource center that would give you access to employee handbooks, being compliant with the labor laws. We didn't discuss a whole lot of that, so that's I just want to plant that as an option into the future that we can talk about. But let's focus mainly on this payroll. How does that price look to you in terms of what we're offering?
That's probably doable for us right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds
probably.
good. So your total cost right now would be your 150 startup, and then your per pay period, that $38.95.
Okay.
So I'm going to give you that so that you can take that back to Rebecca, and I will definitely plan to follow up with you guys in the few weeks coming up to that November 1st training date, so that we can then solidify the logistics in terms of what you'll need for paperwork. And what I can bring for training materials. So, does that sound like a fair game plan, Mike?
Yes, I say so. Sounds good.
Alrighty, well then I
Thank
appreciate
you.
your time, and hopefully we came out right around that 20-minute mark. So,
I think we're just about right on time.
Alrighty
that sounds
then.
Good.
Well, hey, I appreciate it, and you guys have a good day.
Thank you for coming.